Buddy. Good morning. Good morning. This is live Q&A for parents who choose to be empowered and empowering. We're Bonnie and Thomas Liotta with Creating Champions for Life. And while most parenting is focused on getting children to comply, we're going to show you how to create champions by guiding. Yes, Tom, by guiding. We've got some questions that have come in today that we're going to start with. But if you have questions of your own, we encourage you to post them in the comments and we will do our best to answer them. Now, I want to pre-frame a little bit from one mom to another parent because we're living in a world right now of immediate gratification. It's like I ask a question, I want an immediate answer, and I'm going to go to my child now and do something completely different and see an immediate result. And I want to say this. If you decide to raise champions, if you decide to be an empowering parent, if you know that parenting by principle is better than parenting by theory, then I want to encourage you to commit to the process. Because I want you to think about something. It's like I'm constantly learning how to eat better and exercise. And tell me if you do this too. I get on a roll. I work out, exercise every day for 2 or 3 weeks. And then something comes up and I miss my workout. And then I don't work out for like a whole week or two. Then I got to get back into the swing of things and I'm starting all over again. And I want to relate this to our parenting because it's like, oh, this is a brand new way to parent. Oh my gosh, we're going to guide behavior. We're going to focus on goals. And we go for a week or two. It's easy to be excited for a day or a week or two or maybe a month. But then when things don't work out and you don't see immediate results right away, it's so easy to give up and to quit and to go back to what we're used to. But we already know what we're used to isn't working as parents. We have millions of toddlers between the ages of 2 and 4 being medicated for behavior. We have billions of dollars going to medication and therapy for ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, DMDD. There's a pathological demand disorder now, which is children who don't like being told what to do. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. It's not funny. It's not funny, but when you really think about how human beings operate, how you operate as a human being, nobody likes to be told what to do. But this doesn't mean that we just start giving in to our children's whim and we meet them at the door and we take all their bags and we bring them snacks to the couch to make sure that we don't start some sort of power struggle. We can't go back to what we're used to and give up because these are your children. These are tiny human beings. They're counting on us to guide them, to lead them, to be that person who's there for them. So, while millions and billions of people are struggling every day, we want to give you the answers to help you create harmony, to help you create peace, to help you create authentic connection, to help you have children who are in complete awe of you, who are respectful of you by choice. Because when you get this right, when you understand that we're here to guide these little genius spirits to their greatness, not control or manage their behavior, that's a lie. You won't have to ask them to tell you how much they love you. You won't have to tell them, speak to me with respect. They will speak to you with respect. They will love you so much. You will become their number one trusted advisor. And we've worked with hundreds of parents. We've seen these children who are the worst cases of oppositional defiant disorder, whatever label you want to use. We've seen them completely transform into healthy, happy, cooperative kids. And I know that might be a lot to take. It might be too good to be true. But like, if what we're doing isn't working, how about we just come in today with an open mind that your parenting dreams are possible? And let's stick around for long enough to make those parenting dreams a reality. And Aaron Strand, thank you so much for asking your question over there on YouTube. And I want to say hi to Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
We got a
Hi,
Chelsea
Holly.
and a Jessica and a Holly.
Hi, Chelsea. We're going to ask you guys, if you're here, participate with us. When we ask you questions, post comments. If we say something that you agree with or that you like, give us a heart. If you are on YouTube or on our Facebook fan page and you really want to participate, come join our Facebook group, Harmonious Parenting, on Facebook, because then we can really interact. We love interact. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. We're so happy that you guys are here. Hi, Aaron. I'm so happy that you're here. We are. Hi, Melissa. Thank you. I love all of the interaction. Okay. Thank you so much for that. And I love that the comments are coming up right here so we can see you. So, Tom, share with them, because see, we could just tell you answers to get your kids to cooperate. But see, the thing is we need to have a mindset shift. We need to reframe our thinking. We need to build new neural pathways. No, our children aren't going out of their way to piss us off. They are looking to live their life, and they're looking to be guided, and they're looking to learn life skills. So we are here to reframe, and we're here to be your trusted advisor, because really, where did we learn how to parent? So talk about that, Tom. You're the Creating Champions for Life coach. You've worked with thousands of kids, hundreds of families. We come to you through experience. This is not like we read a textbook and regurgitating what we learned. Talk about your relationship with our clients and who we want to be for our fans, for the members in our group. Hi, Melanie. Welcome. Hi, Nicole.
All right. Well, I'm just writing down everybody's name here because I love the fact that first and foremost, I want to, where is it at? Validate that you made it here today. Yay! What does that even mean? There was an obstacle that lives in Kentville that almost stopped you from being here. No or yes. You already know it's true. Just maybe thinking the perspective here. But you overcame it because you're here. That's just doing something.
Yes.
Hint, hint, wink, wink for the note takers, right? Because if it's in our head, we're going to lose it fast. But if we write it down, it's sure to last. Now, you made it here because you were running on what we call, and it's right over there, Bonnie, starts with a G, ends with an L, goal power. There was something that you want, need, or desire. Think of like a great acronym like WIN, W-N-D. Well, you're not a very good speller, Thomas. There's an I in there. Right. When I engage in wants, needs, or desire, it becomes wind. Which way's the wind blowing? And you made it here. That's called validation. That's going to be one of the first and foremost things that we just did for you by leading by example, because we're not here to save you. We're here for leadership. Just like the birds in the nest are not looking to be saved. They're looking for leadership. Mm-hmm. They were promised that if you get up and get out of that nest and you go, there will always be something there for you to eat. I've never seen a bird's nest with a cold freezer. Anyone? Right?
Right.
You want somebody to come feed you, then you stay in a nest and you squawk, come feed you. It's an endless loop. This is where we start to bring awareness of like, oh my gosh, if I just kept doing for my kid, I'm saving them. There's no end. Looking for leadership. That's what gets us out of here. So great job on your leadership for being here today and asking a question. So as a trusted advisor, What is a trusted advisor? Because all parenting is on the opposite end of that. Trusted advisor is somebody who can see your goal. A genius offspring's always learning. We're running on goal power. What's most important to you? What are your wants, needs, and desires? Tell me, what is it that you're working towards? Because I'd like to know. Because if you knew what to do, you would have already done it. Tell me. And a trusted advisor has as close to infinity or 100% is 99.9999989% your best interests at heart. You're looking for leadership. Don't tell me how to do it. Show me how it's done so I can embrace my own uniqueness as a genius. Now, I know exactly where you're at. I've seen so many parents fall into these traps and being able to reframe what your role is as a parent. So when we look into our basic instructions for leaving Earth book, and you go to chapter number 1, which is on page 3, and you read what is your role as a parent, this is what we got to bring our awareness to. So trusted advisors has your best interest at heart.
So what
And
you're
what's the
saying
plus
is,
one, Bonnie?
what you're saying is, we are you, your parents that are watching. We are your trusted advisor. Because where did we really learn to parent? And comment in the comments. Did you ever have a thought, I want to be different than what my parents were? I won't yell at my kids like my parents did. I want my kids to have the life I always wanted. If this is you, post in the comments, especially if we made that decision, but then found ourselves or find ourselves doing exactly what we promised ourselves we wouldn't do. So, Chelsea, yes, thank you. So we want to be that for you. We want to make the transitional shift so we can be your trusted advisor. We can guide you. We can lock arms with you. We can help you. I love this, Tom. Genius offspring, always learning. Isn't that so much better than these little buggers are born just to have meltdowns and test your patience or whatever, to test your boundaries, right? Thank you, Melanie, Angela, Nicole. Yes. All right. So we have a few questions that we posted that we were going to focus on today, but because Erin actually posted her question on YouTube, we're going to get to you first. The question is, how do I help my daughter, 7, stop hitting when she gets mad? She just blows up and is so agitated. We were talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, hitting.
How do you? Well, anybody know that there's a power of 3? As your trusted advisor, I'm going to let you know that there's 3 to everything. Can, can't, don't care. What else is there? You know, there's going to be black, white, or neither. You're going to start to see is that there's going to be that one. First and foremost, Aaron, congratulations on doing what most parents, other than neglect, is the option. You actually chose to engage. You actually care. False or true? I'm going to vote true. Put it in there. Yes, it's true. Let's interact. So after you do become active, the question would be is, did you want to be proactive or reactive? And this is where that reframe comes into play.
See a little, what? See something I don't like.
See something I don't like.
See a little genius. Embracing their own uniqueness. Requiring life skills.
Oh, definitely proactive. It is true. Good job, Aaron. Put that into your pocket. Write it down. Take ownership of it. Make it yours moving forward. So there's our 3. We either engage or ignore is step number 1. Engage or neglect. And when you do engage, you're either going to come in heads or tails, black or white, positive or negative. If this resonates true, echo back. True. There's the game board. Now, as your trusted advisor, which one's more important to you? Are you coming in? Let's bring awareness. Are you coming in reactive What was it you said here? How do I help my daughter stop hitting when mad? She just blows up and it's so aggravated. Well, let's just think of some of these words here. Stop and hit. Is that going to be negative or positive? Let's just bring awareness to what we're actually doing here. Mad, positive or negative, just blows up randomly. Agitated. You see, is this something that I see something, I hear something, I'm feeling something I don't like? Or can you flip it around and go, here's a little genius who's just embracing her own uniqueness? Because at the end of the day, she didn't wake up coming out kicking, blowing up, hitting. So she's played the monkey see, monkey do. When you ask this powerful question, well, where do you think she learned it? She saw it. So we want to validate. It's like, wow, looks like something's really important to you. You engage neutrally. Come in neutral instead of around. Hey, we don't hit. Well, you see something you don't like, negative. Tell them can't, don't, won't, negative. Tell me in mathematics when negative plus negative ever equals positive. Right? Yes, you can strong arm them. Yes, you're bigger than them, but it's a short-term win, long-term loss. So if you could reframe and go, she's actually passionate about something. Let me think for a second. Is this something that she wants? Is this something that she absolutely needs, like, air? Or is this a little genius that's just so desired and so driven to embrace her own uniqueness and show her abilities to the world? We start asking questions. Well, which one is this? What is it that you're so passionate about? You ask a question for deeper understanding. And when you can do that, you're coming in proactively versus reactive. And if you want to go proactive, well, I mean, let's just go with the negative. How do you stop them? Well, some of the parenting out there says, I won't let you hit her.
Who's heard that before? Okay. I won't let you
now, I'm going somewhere with this. So
yes.
Stick with me.
Yes.
Great. There's 9 hours and 57 more minutes of the day. Tell me if this is productive on any level. Okay. You got the point. So if you're going to see that she's starting to hit, how do you stop her? Well, sometimes they redirect her. Hey, I can get you a little toy. Reactive. When you're showing, she's actually going, look, I seen somebody get what they want because she's monkey see, monkey doing here. And she's just going, well, that's okay. That's how you do it. That's what I'm going to do. Well, what if you could show her a different way, which is proactive? This is your detective work, what we talk about in our 90-day parenting challenge for change program. We do a lot of detective work. She likes to hit. Well, if it was do nothing or hit, which one do you think she's been taught on how to make her wants, needs, and desires show up? So there's two options, ignore it or do it negative. But what if we could add that third option for her called life skill called raise a hand? You see, when you come up to her and you stand and raise your hand, or you would stand in an attention stance and just look at her for her to go, what are you doing, Mom? I'm glad you asked. And it's critical right then to go, I was waiting to get your attention. I was asking first before just coming in guns blazing. Now, I'm not saying that you're ready for this, but when you're ready for this and you've got three options to choose from, positive, negative, or ignore, when you activate or you're active, when you have a proactive approach versus a reactive approach, all parenting styles that are out there are in the negative, reactive part. See something I don't like, how do you get them to stop? We bring that fresh perspective. We're better known as the fifth element if you really want to get down to it. We can talk about that later. But when you actually go proactive, now I'm not talking some hocus pocus, something I was a mom, spit out a few kids, and now I'm a mommy blogger. I've worked with thousands of kids in a martial art program where everybody brought me their kid.
Please fix my kid.
Please fix them. I'm like, okay, so we did 5 years of training, negative, 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 and you want me to fix them overnight. Okay, well, this is going to be great, but I can do it because it works. It's principles.
Right.
When we take a time to go, hey, I'm just going to wake up and run. No, you would be proactive and let's stretch a little bit. Let's tell the body what we're doing. Let's warm up first. Being proactive is the game. So let's ask it very direct. How do you stop her? Well, if you want to be reactive, like, it's a fire, grab it, smack her, see something you don't like, hit her.
And then she'll do it again.
I don't
and she'll
know.
do it again. And
Right.
she'll do it again.
That's not
and
her
she'll
style.
do it again.
But you could do that short term win, long term gain. But if you were to switch it around and just say, well, gosh, there's something she's going after. What would be the way that I would make it show up that I could show, not tell? Monkey see, I could show her like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
May I have a turn after you're done? Using her words, asking a question. Of course, she sees something that she wants and she's learning to hit. But if you could do that.
Can I say something? Is it my turn?
Oh, it's always your turn.
I just want to say that was a lot. And if you're watching this, if you're watching this and hearing this for the very first time and you're just looking for like the quick fix, you might have just missed the gold that Thomas just shared. When we went over, Angela's on here, and thank you, Angela, for being here. And Angela and I have known each other for about 15 years, and we were in business, and I left to go do Creating Champions for Life. And about 10 or 11 years later, she now has a 6-year-old grandson who was headed to ODD and was dealing with all of this. So Tom and I went over to her daughter's house and met the kids for the very first time. And there was a lot of throwing his little brother around and like just a lot of chaos going on in the house. And what Tom did for about an hour and a half was just followed the little guys around, didn't referee, didn't intervene, taught the little guy, first of all, to say, no, thank you. So that's one thing. So Aaron, your daughter's hitting the little one. We have to teach our little ones how to protect themselves when you're not around, number one. The second thing that he did, and it was amazing because as soon as Jax, who was, I think, 2 at the time, he's 4 now. As soon as Jax said, no, thank you, Jacoby just stopped because Jacoby wasn't attacking the little brother like we would see from an adult perspective. He was playing. He was like little kittens rolling around and attacking, and it looks terrible, but it's really not that bad. So first of all, he taught Jax how to walk away from the situation, and he just validated. He just followed Jacoby around for about an hour and a half, validating. Look at you. Like, what did you do? That's up. That's down.
Well, yeah, he had the table and there's a bunch of little card pieces on it. And he's really, when you can see these little geniuses just so smart, they're like, I know how to get your attention. Watch this. And he was just zinging these cards right off the table and just going bing, bing, because he's been training the parents to go, look, I'm starving for attention. When I do good, you leave me alone. But when I do something you don't like, you yell at me. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up that if you are looking for attention, you'll do whatever it takes to survive. And every offspring that's born that does not get attention will die within the first week of birth.
Truth card.
Truth. So if we're just surviving for attention, whether it's negative or positive, it's irrelevant. You can't accuse me of stealing when I'm starving if I take your food. False or true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he would zing them, and the parents would come off and go, hey, what did you say in there?
Stop that.
What did you say? We don't do that. That's the classic face. Hey, we don't do that. Now, I'm not saying that you're running for vice president or mayor. But if you're going to tell me we don't do that and I just did it, tell me how much credibility you have with me right now when I did it and you're telling me we don't do that and I just did. I'm going to give you a dramatic pause to think and write something down there. maybe this is a
You're looking for the sign?
I'm gonna look right.
Truth card.
Right. I know it's not probably what you wanted to
So
hear.
let's role play this out. Let's bring this to life.
So hang on, let me go back. Okay. So
Okay.
now there's a dramatic pause. You got it. So when he was zinging them, and I remember Angela was right there. She's just like, "Oh my gosh, I never thought to ever do this. I've never seen this before in my life. This
Right.
is like a child whisperer."
Yeah.
Now she knows about the horse whisperer, so she's very in tune to be like, "Oh my gosh, these owners of horses have problems. They bring them to the horse whisperer, and all of a sudden they're just like walking on water." So I was like, "Zing!" I'm like, "Off, off, off." No, he's doing it. I'm not. I'm just off. I'm validating, right? Just validating. Off. And then I'm like, and I stood and I raised my hand and I'm like, "Can I ask you a question?" He goes, "Yeah." "Can I play with you?" "Yeah." So he went off. I said off. And I was like, on, off, on. And it became a game to where pretty soon he got what? Attention. For those that are actually taking the notes and are sticking with us on this, he got attention. Was it reactive, negative energy, or this is very rhetorical, proactive attention? So you drag her away to a timeout. Well, I mean, we would reframe it and say, well, you can earn a hug, or you can earn like jail, or you can earn Yale. How do you earn a timeout? You hit. How do you earn what it is that you'd like? You would ask for attention or ask please first. You can earn both by doing both options, negative and positive. And when you can set up the game, which is called the truth in the world, can you demand jail? No, you have to earn it. And when you can have that reframe, you'll now have an authentic choice. Because at the end of the day, you were given free will too, but you've been trained maybe not to use it, yet. And when you've got it down, tell me what it's done the first time you started using it, Bonnie.
Well, it's life changing, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot. That was really powerful. I would watch the replay 2 or 3 times to catch everything Tom just said there. Jessica, I'm going to come back over to you here in just a second. Aaron, so the brothers actually ate timeouts, and dragging her away hasn't worked for 7 years, and it will never work because she'll just keep doing it because she's literally missing the life skill on how to get what she wants. That's important to her in a more proactive way, because we are just coming in and correcting them in the moment, which is very reactive. So from one mom to another, Tom saying be proactive. So when she's not freaking out and she's not angry, this is where we would take the time to show her what to do through active role play and life skills training. Now, I want to say this. We have been conditioned in our mind to manage our children's behavior. Hundreds of videos on Instagram right now probably being posted telling you to manage their behavior. But the truth is, truth card, the truth is that control is an illusion. You cannot and never will be able to control your child. 2, 5, 7, or 15, or 25, or however old they are. This is the truth. This is a human principle. So we need to be showing her the plan, the good, the bad, the ugly. So Chelsea's on here, and the very first time we went and met Avery, actually it was a second time, and I've been posting the video recently of Avery, and it looks like she's just beating the crap out of Carter. Whack, 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 whack. And we're standing there watching what she was doing. Now, from Avery's perspective, she was trying to help mom because mom wanted her cell phone and Carter had it. And Avery was trying to get the cell phone to help mom. Was she thinking, I'm being defiant, I want to hurt my brother? Her own prime directive from the age of 5 is, I want to be a good girl and help my mom. I'm going to cry because I can feel
Healing.
Avery's mindset of what she was looking to do, and she wasn't looking to be bad. But we would punish that. This is a mistake that we make as parents. We come in, we correct in the moment, we punish violence with violence. And grabbing their arm, I won't let you do that, and dragging them away and setting them in a timeout in an angry vibration is punishing violence with violence, whether we know it or not, like it or not, want to hear that or not. It is the truth, and the truth will set you free. Okay. So we play detective. She likes to hit. What is the life skill that she needs to learn? What life skill does she need so that the hitting stops? What is the proactive plan? What is she asking for when she chooses to hit after you've taught her right from wrong? Does this make sense? Is everybody kind of grasping, bringing all the pieces together now? Because this is a really powerful conversation.
Now let's give them some deep references here. For those of you that have got the book, congratulations. If you haven't gotten it yet, when would now be a good time to order it off of amazon.ca.com and get your instruction manual that has all the answers to what you're asking for? Because here you would go to principle number 5, guiding the behavior versus punishment. Proactive is guiding. Punishing is reactive. That's as simple as black and white. That's how crystal clear it is. We've been taught to punish. What if you're open to learn to guide? It's the difference between frowns and smile. How do you want to learn? Easy way or hard way? Now, when you got this other question here from Jessica, well, what about the little ones that aren't old enough to talk yet and just learning to walk? Well, we have ourselves a granddaughter that's now 17 months old that has been guided her behavior for a very long time. Did you know that they can communicate almost a year easy before their vocal cords can develop to actually make the sound like you do? Did you know that? Because if you did, you would be able to see the truth is that monkey see, monkey do has nothing to do with talking. You would show them, they mimic you. They hit because they're mimicking being hit. We're communicating the whole time. It's pretty powerful.
Well, I want to say that, like, a newborn baby, like, all they do is cry and scream, and the hungrier they get, or if they have gas or something's going wrong with them, they just know to flail around and cry. And if they didn't, they would die because we wouldn't know something was wrong.
Mm-hmm. True.
So when a toddler is hitting, or, at the age of 7, they might look 7, but if they've never been actually validated and then asked questions and then shown what to do and then given a proactive plan, then their mentality is still 2. They're still going to wail like this to get what's important to them. So the baby, what I'm seeing based on what Tom just said is we would grab the baby by the hands and we would walk them away. And we would say, "No, thank you." They can't do it yet, but they'll be able to do it soon. Does this make sense? So whatever you want your baby to do, you start doing it now. Tom was walking with Harley Faith on his toes since she's 3 months old. She could barely she couldn't really hold herself up or anything, but we've got videotapes 3, 4, 5, and she started walking at 9 months old. We've got videotape of Tom standing there with her at 6, 7 months old. She could pull herself up in the crib, and he's like, "Take one hand, show me one hand," and she's going, and she shows him one hand, "Show me the other hand," and she shows the other hand. We've been conditioned to believe that babies are just tumbleweeds. That I don't know. Your baby's growing, what is it, millions of neurons a second, for the first 5 years. So you start teaching her or him you take them by the hands and you pick them up and you start walking away and you say, "No, thank you." So you mimic what you want the baby to do. Try that and come back. At the same time, the older child is being validated. "I see there's something very important to you. Can I ask you a question? I'm going to show you what hitting earns, and I'm going to show you what other way you can get what's important to you by what? What do you want them to do? Ask first, come to you, stand at attention stance." These are things that we must figure out as parents. We need to engage our imagination. We have the life experience that these children, these babies, don't have. So we just need to know, we need to walk into the room and see them through loving eyes, see them through a love vibration, see them as in, I believe in you, I believe you can do it, versus what we've been conditioned.
Oh, so true. And for those that have their book or the ones that are taking notes, may I give your attention to page 3, chapter 1, principle 1, which is know your role as a parent. My job is to give my child life skills. So when he or she leaves me, he or she will have all the resources and ability to succeed at whatever they choose. Now, are you active with your kids? That should be a given. Yes, because you could either have them and then just neglect. That's one of the parenting styles they put us in. Or we can bribe them like an authoritative. We can dictate like the authoritarian, or we can be permissive like the overcompensator. This is where they got the masses in reactive parenting. But when we can look at it and go, well, wait a minute, I am active with my child. But what's the prime directive? Like, why are they here? Ask the true questions. Is it my job to be all, do all? Well, no, because when would they ever leave if I just kept doing for? But if you could shift the reframe, right? Find our reframe. There she is. And you can shift it and have a mission statement. Well, my job is to prepare them. Now, you don't have to take my, truth to it because I got goofy hair and big ears or something. You might not even like me. Matter of fact, there's a part of you that goes, this guy is stupid. But if we can get past that part, look at the truth. The truth will set you free, whether you like it or not. It's gravity. It doesn't require an opinion. When you look at it, that every animal in our animal kingdom follows this same pattern. It is all about being active to postpone them leaving the nest or preparing. And when you can make that game change, this is what rocked Bonnie's world. The biggest game changer ever is when she could reframe from buying him everything, doing everything, yada, 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 react, till she goes, well, I got a mission to prepare you. So let me ask you, what do you want to be when you leave? What do you want to be when you grow up?
What do you want to do when you get home?
Right? What do you want to be? And when you think about this, it's like, well, every interaction is to prepare them. Then you're becoming proactive. And it's the difference between feeling negative and feeling positive. Love, hate.
It's the difference between your child disrespecting you and living in awe of their greatest hero, which is you.
Change your approach. Create a different outcome.
Same kid, totally different results. Okay, so Sabrina, what that we shared in the last 20 minutes or so has triggered for you that could be an answer to this question.
Yeah.
What would be the magic formula here? So I'm going to read the question. So my son's ADHD/ODD seems to be a problem at school more than at home. How can I encourage my little one to be eager to learn? His teacher says his behavior is very disruptive. He won't wait his turn, or he's too curious and wants to be first. See, this is a superpower. And I want you to think, as you're posting in the comments an answer to my question, who you're describing here reminds me a lot of Steve Jobs, because these are the complaints that Steve Jobs' parents used to get when he was in school. And I want you to imagine a little Steve Jobs. If you don't know who Steve Jobs is, he invented the Apple computer and the iPhone. But when he was in elementary school, he would do things like put thumbtacks on his teacher's chair and giggle. He would do things like make fireworks and blow things up. So I just want you to imagine. I'm telling you this because I want you to see your little genius as a little genius who is embracing his own uniqueness. He's looking to express himself in the only way he knows how. So let me see. Did she answer me yet? And then we're going to come back. Nope, you didn't answer me yet. So that's okay. I know there's a little bit of a lag as well on Facebook. So what I'm going to do here is, first of all, can I encourage you, if you're fans of ours, you're in our group, and I know that again, we've been conditioned, we've developed neural pathways of ADHD and ODD. Tell me, if you are a 6, 7, 8-year old and you've been told that you have a learning or a behavior disorder, if you've been told you're oppositional, that's bad. We don't do that. How do you feel about yourself in this moment? Do you feel like you fit in to the world? Do you feel like, "Oh, you're right. That's bad. So now I should do something good?" Or do you feel like there's something wrong with me? Comments. What do you feel like in this moment? You're oppositional. You have ADHD. You have oppositional defiant disorder. How do you feel about yourself? I would feel broken. Aaron said the same thing on a totally different platform. Aaron on YouTube said, I will feel broken. Nicole, I would feel broken. So I'm going to cry. I'm feeling emotional, but can I encourage everybody here who's watching to release the labels? Chelsea says, not worthy. Do we want our children to feel broken and unworthy? Now, if there was a God and there was a devil, which one of the two would be laughing because our children feel broken and unworthy? I'm just asking, if you don't like God, devil, positive, negative, would it be the positive side of the universe or the negative side of the universe that would want our children to feel broken?
Yes.
And if you wanted to have an influence on your child, would you want them to feel worthy and powerful and confident? The devil would be laughing. We all know the answer. It's his greatest plan to take our children. I'm trying to be as proactive and patient as possible. He does tell me he feels like there's something wrong with him. I tell him he's not and tell him to be himself, but it's a big problem at school. Yeah. Words like how can I say this to really make an impact? Words don't make a difference. It's wah, 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 wah. But you are, because I know this firsthand, because when I first met Tom, my Jenny, who was 9 or 10, used to cry herself to sleep every night. And every night I would have to tell her again and again, does God think you're special? Yeah. Does mommy think you're special? Yeah. So could it be that you're special? Well, yeah. And then she'd go to sleep, and then the next night would be something else. And she'd be crying in her sleep, crying at bedtime again, feeling unworthy. So number one, we need to literally see their greatness. We need to walk in no matter what they do, good, bad, and ugly. You validate. That's loud. That's hitting. That's telling me you want to be over here. It's the law of sowing and reaping, not trying to control and manage their behavior with some sort of discipline, because at the same time, we're telling them you're special and you're smart and you're great, but we don't do that, and that's wrong and that's bad. I'm telling you, when Tom first met Zach goes, you can't expect the same from me as the other kids because my brain's broken. So the word broken here that you ladies use is very on par.
Yes. When you validate, wow, look who found loud. Of course, it's something it's ear piercing. Did you validate it, or did you come in guns and blazing with something you don't like, saying we don't do that? Right? Wow, you found loud. That's amazing. Good job. Who made that loud show up?
Validate.
Could I ask you a question?
Ask questions.
Do you know how to do soft? Has anybody ever showed you soft? We know you know loud. That's amazing. Good job on finding loud. But do you know what soft sounds like? Can you make soft? Or can I show you how I do soft? You see, being able to give them loud and soft is one of our first, like 0 to 1. It's called game of opposites. up, down, loud, quiet. When I heard Sabrina, and I apologize, or I would say I trust I'm saying your name correct, Sabrina.
Mhm.
When you go, well, he's got ADHD and ODD. Great. You see, you've been introduced to the negative side of good stories. Because if you've got ADHD, wow. Did you also know that you have ASHO, attention surplus hyperactive order? That's where a big kid trusted advisor comes into play. Did you know that too? See, labeling them with a good story is reactive, but also choosing to say, they're just looking for attention surplus. Did you see me? Did you see me? Did you see me? Did you see me? Yeah. Let me show you how I've already seen how you're doing it. Let me show you when and where it can be done. Because remember when we talked about loud? Loud would produce a frown. And soft, like if we're talking library, would create a smile. Allow them to be that little co-creator to show them how the world really works. Because loud in the library would make a frown, and soft would make a smile. Show them how the world works with as close, and I'm not saying you're there yet, but as close as zero prejudice, like 99.99989%. Be there for them and say, hey, you can make frowns or smiles. You can learn easy way or hard way.
Yep.
And let me show you both, and then let go and let God happen. Because at the end of the day, we're preparing them to be on their way.
1,000%. You know, Sabrina, what you're talking about here, what's coming to my mind also, and probably for every mom watching or dad, we're very attached to whether they get in trouble at school or not. Are you attached? Does it hurt your heart when your little guy gets in trouble at school? And if the answer is yes, then that's the first thing that we need to do. We need to allow our children to fail. Fail means first attempt in learning. Success is built on failure after failure after failure after failure, and then you achieve success. So what I see is a little guy who already feels like his brain's broken. And when you feel stupid or less than or unworthy or like your brain's broken, you're not going to be the best studious student in the classroom. You're going to become the class clown. Yes? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chelsea said, I used to be, now I take it. Yeah, as we get to learn new life skills. Correct. We get to learn new life skills. Your little guy's looking to learn new life skills. And what Tom was just doing there, soft, loud, listening to the teacher, not listening to the teacher. Proactive life skills training. Proactive versus, oh my gosh, he got in trouble at school again. And then loving him anyway, whether he gets in trouble at school or not. Kids are going to get in trouble at school. You're not the only one. How many people here watching kids get in trouble at school? I want to say 100%. They all get. We think that it's only our kid get in trouble at school, or it's only our kid not doing their schoolwork. But when we're so attached to everything that happens to our kid, it's just going to create more negativity. We need to let go and let God. We need to let them show us who they are. We need to role play. Is this soft? Is this loud? Is if we act like this in school, are we going to get in trouble, or are we going to be able to participate in all the fun things? If we go to school and we throw things around and break things, does that mean we get to play video games when we get home, or does that mean the video games are away for the day? So I get that we're trying to be proactive and whatnot. You might need some mentorship. And I don't know if you know about this, and this is completely up to you. We're going to love you either way. But if this is all making sense to you and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to be proactive. I need to see them as a genius. I need to show them what to do, ask them questions, validate. We need to do some rewiring of your brain, which means mentorship. It means that we can't like have a whole lifetime of conditioning and then come to a Q&A for an hour and get it. So be kind to yourself and be patient with yourself and go, you know what? I might need some mentorship, and invest some time and some money in yourself as a parent, because what other job could we ever do that would be more important than our children?
Truth.
Okay, so let's move on.
Yes.
My twin boys got into a fight with each other on the first day of a new teacher 2 weeks ago. Ha ha ha. I laugh now, but it's embarrassing. Typically, I would have been reactive, but this program has gotten me slowly getting out of reactive mindset. Yay! So I just tell them what will be happening. So I just tell them what will happen long term rather than short term discipline that won't work. Nicole says we're all born with some missing life skills. We're all born with zero life skills of how the world works.
Except for
Cry. And a will to survive. We all are born with a will to survive. We will choose life. It's why we are supposed to have a trusted advisor to show us how the world works. Yes. If that's all we get from today, I am their disciplinary. It's my job to set boundaries. Their job is to have meltdown and test my boundaries. Bleh, 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 bleh. That's all bleh. So, no. They're born with no life skills, blank slate. Everything you say, think, how you react, how you feel about them, whether you say it to them or not. I love my kid. Go away, be quiet. It's like everything you do matters as a parent. This is really the most important work, but I want to wrap my arms around you right now. And I want to tell you that yesterday's history, tomorrow is a mystery. The only thing that we have is the present right now. That's why it's called a gift. I said that wrong.
So,
It doesn't matter. I'm learning new neural pathways. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. Today's a gift. That's why it's called the present. There we go. So from this moment moving forward, if you're testing the waters, you're dipping your toes in the water. What's this Creating Champions for Life thing all about? And this totally made sense. Proactive versus reactive. Life skills training versus disciplining in the moment. Jump all in. Commit to this thing. Download the Creating Champions for Life app. Listen to the Raising Healthy, Happy, Cooperative Kids audiobook. Binge watch our videos in the group or on YouTube. Binge watch. Learn all you can. And then go all in the deep end. Come to us. Book a time. Let's have a chat. Start some mentorship, because when we become your trusted advisor, we're going to work on you. We're going to work on the responsibility card. We're going to work with you on self-control training. We're going to work with you on how to create a master plan. We're going to work with you on how to cut that emotional umbilical cord. It's not all going to happen in a minute or an hour or a day or a week or a month or a year, maybe. It's going to take time to rewire our conditioned mind.
It's a lifestyle.
Correct. So
I want to wrap up on one more.
Well, we're not wrapping up. We have a couple more questions.
Well, we do, but I got to wrap up on Sabrina
this
here.
conversation.
When you got this ADHD, we talked about that. Yeah, let's give you the black label, but let's also give you the white label. Which one would you like better? You want a trusted advisor that you can come to any second, minute, or other day and tell me the truth, and I'll listen to you, and I'll show you how it is with zero prejudice, and then I'll show you the way it works, and you can make smiles and frowns all day long by yourself, which is called preparing them. Right? But when you get this ODD thing, when I first met Zach, and he was the worst case ODD that the child school psychologist of 30 plus years has ever had. And I went, those are my favorite. I love when the therapist or whatever it is on the dark side actually labels these kids ODD. You want to know why? Do you? I want to see a yes. I got to get at least one yes. Yeah, he was at 6. Yeah, that was his brothers and sisters. Okay. Come on, I want to look for a yes. Who's got a yes for me?
Well, there's a little bit of a lag.
I know
so-
there is.
Okay.
That's why we're waiting. Patience. Wait for it.
I want to
I
know.
want to know. I got lots of love for you, Aaron. So I got a second? Kelly, of course there is.
Oh.
And I told Bonnie this. I was like, okay, so. And I've worked with thousands of kids. I have a track record that's over 150,000 documented paid clients for me to coach, counsel, period. It comes from you see patterns when you have a big sample. The reason why I like it when they label them is I'm thinking, this is on the negative side of the pendulum. And when you let that little energy go, it will swing like a grandfather clock pendulum all the way to the other side. Because this is a little genius who is just embracing her own uniqueness, and they're not looking to be beaten into submission by an independent thinker, somebody who's here to step into their power. And so when somebody can see that they are here to share a beautiful gift with the world that only they can share, and they're looking for leadership, not conformity. And it goes back hundreds of years ago. I'm going to talk about it here. If you like it, you'll love me. If you don't, well, then maybe we're not your tribe, and I'm okay either way. But you got to do something to step up and change the ways. A couple hundred years ago, there was slavery. And you know what the slave owners would do? They'd look at all the slaves that are lined up. And it's not a race thing. Slavery's been around, and slavery's happening right now. It's just in a different form. But they'd look at the ones that would not just shut up, do the work. They had a strength stronger that you couldn't whip them into submission. And so they would eliminate those people on a physical level. Now they're doing it on a spiritual level. They're getting rid of the thinkers, the leaders, future leaders of the world for independence. And that's why they label them, so they can go ahead and medicate them and get them out of the system.
And make them feel unworthy and broken.
That there's something wrong with them. So when you can see that an ODD kid, he's got a spirit inside that says, look, I've got a gift and a mission to share with the world, and nobody's seeing my greatness. Or maybe I'm in the wrong environment that doesn't want leadership. They want workers. Now, the school system was developed on a worker developing process. So if you've got yourself an entrepreneur, they're going to be flagged in this current school system, which is the absolute truth. You see that little genius as who's embracing her own uniqueness. They're looking for leadership. Now, I'm not saying you're there yet, but when you can actually wrap your head around this and say, the teachers are just going to tell you what to do, and they're not going to see your greatness, but you got some skills you can learn in your math, reading, things of that nature. And if you could practice the game called Simon Says, hey, sit down, shut up, get your book out, do what you're told. That's the PG version. And they could actually have the power to go, I'm playing Simon Says. And everybody knows that if you do what Simon says and you stay in the game, you'll reach your goal. That's the reframe. That's the power. So when they go to school and be like, how well did you do at your Simon Says game today? Well, you tell me what to do. I know, but that's what the game is all about. Because when you do what Simon says, which means quiet now, loud at recess, and you follow the directions of Simon, who just earned 3 hours of their favorite show here on the weekend. You see, when you can reframe the current system rather than looking to control it, oh, it's one of the most amazing things. And I've done this with every single kid in my martial art program. I'm not saying that it's great and perfect and it's the best, but it was nominated for the most creative after school program. 2004, inducted in Martial Art Hall of
Yeah, well,
Fame.
you're being humble. This is the best thing since sliced bread. Creating champions for life is the best thing that ever happened to the world. We're waking up moms and dads. We're waking up kids. We're empowering families. Like there's nothing like it out there. I gotta say this to Carlos. Like, how the puzzle is how to get to school. That's none of your business. How the school feels about your kid is none of your business. I know you want to slap me in the face. We can learn through repetition, or we can learn through shock therapy. And I want you to actually see this. Charlie's going to be who Charlie's going to be. Your kid's going to be who your kid's going to be. Your job as a leader in their life is to allow them to be who they are and love them anyway. You give them a plan, the good, the bad, the ugly. You act like this in school, this is what you're earning. You act like this in school, but if you don't teach them the role play and if you don't teach them the life skills and you don't actually role play with them at home and they get in trouble at school, whose fault is it? Who's the leader of the home? Who's the older one here? Who decided to have kids? Who is the leader? They're counting on you for leadership. We have spent the first 9 years of this little guy's life controlling and managing his behavior, telling him who he should be and what he should do and how he should look and how he should talk, and plating his food and telling him what to wear. And you're 2 months into a 1-year program right now, Carlos, and you're doing fantastically well. Like, applaud to you. You're studious, you're committed, you're persistent, you're an amazing man. But we got to get this.
And I like what Chelsea said. Sorry, go ahead.
Thomas Edison, kicked out of school in grade 3 for being unteachable. Einstein didn't talk till the age of 4. Henry Ford, no more than a grade 8 education. Why? Because he hated school. He was a rebel. He quit school. Henry Ford. Steve Jobs, parents had to pull him out of school because whatever school they sent him to, guess what he did? He got in trouble. Because these are our little creative geniuses, and we're putting them into a box of who they should be. We're trying to get them to fit into the box of an education system that is a one-size-fits-all education system, and it's not. We're not a one-size-fits-all. Your child has thoughts and feelings and desires and goals and things that are important to them. And we need to let them be who they are and love them anyway. Does this make sense? I don't know why, Zach. I don't know why you would choose to sit here and do nothing for 2 years. I don't know why you would choose that. This is Zach. This is what the kids did to him because he wouldn't stop screaming. If you think that I haven't lived what you're living, I've lived what you're living. And so what if they have to repeat a year of school? Let them. So what if they get in trouble at school? Let them. Now, if they're breaking TVs and it's costing you $800, well, maybe everything that little guy owns should be sold to pay for the TV. Just a thought. Okay? Who's responsible for the TV? If it's always you, he's going to keep breaking those TVs. If this makes sense, give me a comment, a like, a share. Invite somebody into the group. I'm not done yet. Jesus. How were the how are the Romans going to see Jesus' greatness? Well, they didn't. They crucified him on the cross because he refused to comply. Parents, we need to ask ourselves, do we want just a little being to sit in a corner and comply, to fit in the box that society has for them, believing that they are just born to go, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, get right on it. And the minute they don't, we label them and we medicate them and we send them to therapy. You're the only one in the whole world who has the power here. You are their mom or their dad. You are the only one in the whole world willing to do what is necessary to breathe life into these little beings. What did you call them? You said genius offspring, always learning. If we give them everything up front and drag them to a timeout or take things away when they do something we don't like, Well, how well is that working? A genius offspring always learning.
Yeah. When is a
What
genius offspring always
are
learning?
their goals?
They're running on goal power.
When we run on goal power, we are inspired and motivated and purpose driven.
We choose life. We can break through anything and everything. And just to give you the truth, there's 8 genius intelligence. When a school system, I'm not for it or against it. I just call the king ain't wearing any clothes, if you know the story. They recognize student aptitude test. I worked with 28 schools of kids when I was running my program. And when I found out and decoded, where's the resistance here? What's this environment? Well, when I found out that they recognize 3 of the 8 genius intelligence, better known as a student aptitude test, SATs. Well, what about the other 5? They're going to reward 3 out of the 8. And you've got the other 5. There was no mystery on how I could fix any kid.
No.
I saw a little genius embracing your own uniqueness, and I actually showed them what they showed up for in physical form as a winning lotto ticket. They're looking for leadership, not savior. No one to save them. Show me how this world works. Believe I can learn, and let me go and let God happen.
Yep.
And when you know your role as a parent, which is principle number 1, it's always the bedrock. It's the foundation of the reframing parenting. You will be the first in your family lineage, I guarantee it.
Yep.
To create a new hypnotic cure from this hypnotic curse.
Yeah.
That is devastating our kids and sucking the life force right out of them. Do you think we're passionate? Do you think that we know what we're doing? I've got countless references of this is truth. I can show you the other side. I will not be able to do it for you. That means you need to step up and sign up for driver's ed class. You got to get in the pool and actually go from I can't to can in physical form. But when you do, it follows the natural progression of big kid trusted advisor who has the plan and holds the perseverance, and the genius offspring who's running on the goals and takes action on the plan. And we love them every step of the way.
Yeah. Like, before the middle of the 1950s, 1960s, no parent brought their kid to a doctor for behavior. We go see doctors for broken arms and surgery and things like this. And back in 19, or sorry, 19, I'm getting old. Back in 2018.
In the 1900s.
I found an interview from Dr. Leon Eisenberg. Now, when you look it up now, Snopes is calling it a lie, but back when I checked back in 2018, it was the truth. It was an article. He was on his deathbed. He was the one who put ADHD into the medical books back in 1968. So it was 1968, the first time ADHD, and it wasn't even called ADHD. It was called some sort of kinetic brain disorder or something. But he literally said that so many parents were bringing their kids to the doctor for misbehavior that they had to come up with something. And they did. And now it's a $20+ billion industry and growing at a rate of 4% a year. Back when Zach was diagnosed with ODD, 2 out of 100 kids were showing signs of ODD. Today, more than 20 kids out of 100 kids are ODD at school and growing.
Right.
Projected to be a $26 billion industry in the next couple of years. They have a projection, you guys. We need to nip it in the bud right now.
Oh my goodness. Pop a pill.
Or teach a missing life skill.
Or transfer the missing life skill. Yes, it is this simple. It's never going to be easy, like riding a bike, walking, or driving a car, even that first kiss. It's the life skills that they're asking for.
Yeah. So what do I do? If you have to go, you won't hurt our feelings. This is all recorded. We're going to email out the replay, but we're going to finish answering these questions. What do I do when my child refuses to go to school in the morning when I have to work? Well, that's a very reactive question.
Well, let me just give a pre-frame here, right? This is a reactive mode.
Yes.
Okay, first and foremost. So I'm going to echo this back so you can actually hear for the first time what you're really asking. Okay? You're my flight parachute instructor, and I just jumped out of the plane, and I'm like, excuse me, what do you do when you forget your parachute? Now, you're going to look at me for half a second and go, man, what a prick. But there's going to be a part of you can look past it and go, oh my gosh, you're the only one that's telling me the truth. Thank you. I got hugs and kisses for you. Metaphorically, you get it. Could there be, I'm just spitballing here. Could there possibly be, Thomas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 steps before we got here that might be missing? There's 12 principles right in here that might be missing that if you had them, well, let me ask you, would I be asking you that exact same question? What do I do if I forgot my parachute? And the answer is a resounding no, I wouldn't. That's where you're coming from. May I answer it this way? This is called survival mode. What do you do when the house is on fire? You do whatever it is to survive, to make it through and go detective work. We always start with detective. Well, 1, 2, 3. I don't even know what the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are. And that's the truth. It ain't the sexy answer, but it is the truth. You've been conditioned. You didn't get there overnight.
Right.
So think of how many years. Answer could be close to 8. How many years did you go in the wrong direction? Not by choice.
No, by
but I'm going to
conditioning.
tell you the truth is they did this to you. And when you can go, they did that, and I want to take my power back, we're your trusted advisor. Plain and simple. I trust this helps, and this is exactly what you came for here today.
I love that. So here's the magic formula. You validate. Oh, you don't want to go to school today.
Yeah, we call that a goal.
Then we go, what's happening? Is there an assignment that needs to be done that wasn't done? Is there a bully at school that we need to talk about? Ask some questions.
Principle number 10 tells me there's something I don't know how or I don't want to do. It's education motivation. It's very crystal clear like mathematics. It's very simple, never easy.
Then we create a master plan. Good, bad, and ugly. You show them and guide them on what to do. You have a master family plan. What does it mean when they refuse to go to school in the morning? What are they earning, jail or Yale? Or, if they've got free reign of like the video game, all the snacks in the house, the TV, lounging all over your house. See, when I met Tom, I was a business leader. I had over 10,000 people on my team. And I was at home in fetal position in my bathroom because my 4 kids, ages 6 to 12, were ruining my life. They were ruling and ruining my life. They were leading me to my death. Overwhelmed, frustrated, stressed out, hopeless. I've been where you are. I was the best of the best worst parent out there for overcompensating. But when I learned this, it was like, I'm cutting off the welfare system. I want to go for a sleepover. I would love for you to have a sleepover. This is what needs to happen in order to earn a sleepover. I want brown sugar on my oatmeal. I would love for you to have brown sugar on your oatmeal. What needs to happen to make brown sugar show up? It might sound a little counterintuitive if all you've been taught is to lavish your kids with reactive attention and to correct them in the moment with lectures. This might sound a little odd, but I want to point something out. God doesn't come down from heaven and give us all 3.5 kids and a 7-bedroom house with a 2-car garage with cars in it and computers and TVs in every room. And then when we do something we don't like, and we all do every day, unless we're all waking up in the morning going, I am grateful for everything in my life and living a perfect life. He doesn't come down from heaven and go, oh, you did something I don't like. I'm going to take that away. That's not principle based. It's not divine. Divine is, I'll feed the birds every day, but they got to get out of the nest to go hunt for the worms. So when we bring this principle of life into our parenting life, and we give them what we should, food, clothes, and shelter, basics, Value Village clothes, hand-me-down clothes, or designer clothes, oatmeal with water or oatmeal with brown sugar and orange juice. We don't owe our kids all these things. When we create an environment where it encourages them through their own goal power, I want that, then they have a burning desire and a new zest for life. Then they're engaged and motivated, and they will begin to care about what you have to say, because we're teaching them the way the world works. It's the law of sowing and reaping.
True.
That's it. You reap what you sow. And if you're constantly going to be sowing, temper tantrums, screaming, hitting, this is what you're going to reap. And I love you either way. It's so divine. It's powerful, powerful parenting. And it's the truth. All right. So,
Wow.
yeah, wow is right.
Sound like we were at the all you can eat and we are full.
Yeah, we're full. We're full and you're full.
There might be some of you that like to echo back. This is for you to go, wow, what made today great for me? What's something that was the truth that you've been searching for that you just got? Echo back, type it in, put it in the comments if you're on a replay. It's an exercise that speaks life into what you are wanting to create more of. And what's one last thing we might want to share before we go?
I just want to share that your child was born, and you too, if you need to hear this, perfect. The one and only magical you, the one and only magical them to exist. And if it's like this, there's two ways to live. One way is the overwhelmed, frustrated, I want to give up. And if that's working for you, can keep doing that. The other way is empowered and connected and loving and joyful. And if that's the life that you want to live, well, it's not going to come free. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take some energy. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take willingness to learn. There's a price to pay. There's a price to pay for both sides, actually. But the price to pay for this negative side is a lifetime of regret, is disconnected relationships as teenagers, because your 5-year-old will be 15, just like this. They'll either be in awe of you, you'll be their greatest trusted advisor, or they'll hate you. Right now, you get to put your stake in the sand. You get to choose. It's a choice. We believe in you. Cynthia, what'd she say? How do I get my son to stop hitting? He's 5. Well,
She just chimed in.
Cynthia,
There's a good replay.
Yeah, this will be a really great replay for you, because we answered that exact question for the first 20 minutes of today's session. So thank you for bringing that, and thank you for watching and for being here.
And we got 3 echo backs here. Jessica says, and this is Jessica Gimbal Lewis, I am learning to do this. I am new at it all, but most recently with our star chart, my oldest worked very hard with daily things. This is called repetition on life skills training and learning new life lessons to earn his Halloween costume. Running on gold power. The crowd goes wild with a round of applause. Boy, how good does it feel to get one foot in to what we call heaven right here on earth? Beautiful job. That's going to be the white versus the dark Lots of love to you. What if you're just getting started? Oh, the future can be so bright. I love how Melissa said they're going to be who they are going to be. Yeah, their thumbprint proves that. It's like, look, you can't imprint on the thumbprint. They got a gift. Show them how it works so they can go give that gift to the world. Beautiful job. And is to accept that and just guide them. Be the trusted advisor that has as close to 0.0000001% prejudice. Love it. Carlos brings back, no, don't want to slap you. That is why we're here. That's right. Keep coming back to the truth trough. Just feed every day. We call it stick and stay, plug and play. I'm just going to just do something every day. And it's that commitment seed that grows the greatest fruit. Thank you, says Jessica. I feel great.
It feels great, but
Oh,
it feels great.
yeah. I always remember the it, right? And I'll just spill it out so you'll know where I'm coming from. It doesn't work. Take away the T. And you want to know the truth? I like that. You want to know the truth, Ruth? Truth, Ruth? I didn't work. Ding, 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 ding. If it is to be, it's up to me. We are the cause. We can create a new effect. I love that idea, says Carlos. And there's more to go, but we'll wrap up on that. So
it is a journey. It is a journey. We're all so excited about the destination, but the destination is your kids are gone. They're grown up. They have their own family, and they either talk to you and love you and come back for Christmas every year, or you never see them again. Then that happens a lot. So yeah, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the learning. Carlos, enjoy the journey. There is no destination. All right. With that being said, come back every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Come back. Join our email list, learntospeakkid.com. Enter your name and email because then you'll get the replays emailed to you, the invitations emailed to you. We want to communicate with you. We are your trusted advisors moving forward. And
till we meet again, here's to our parenting success. Cheers.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye for now.